My mother pitied the fake heiress and went ballistic, driving me out of the house. My father, being indecisive, could only look at me guiltily. Daria, how about just letting Kaylin stay and be your younger sister? The Bonita family can afford to raise 2 daughters. Just then, my grandfather strode over and scolded, "Where did this bastard child come from?" I immediately grabbed a teacup and threw it straight at his head, roaring, "Devlin, do you believe I'll strip you naked and whip you with a cane right now?" The words had barely left my mouth. Thud. My grandfather collapsed, kneeling at my feet, tears streaming down his face. "Mother, you've finally reincarnated and returned." Currently, I am standing in ragged clothes outside the massive gates of the Bonita family home. Looking at the detached villa before me, I feel a pang of nostalgia. After all, this was the house I designed myself years ago. Back then, I had a puppy-like husband who loved me to the core. From cooking to hosting guests, even stripping to dance, anything I desired, he could execute perfectly. Everything in my life was beautiful, except for one thing: my son was a little foolish. Before dying, I recalled my past life and learned of my extraordinary background. Thus, I left a will for my son, stating that my husband and I would reincarnate and return. Who knew that after turning the underworld upside down, I couldn't find my short-lived husband, but instead ran into a small girl with a face strikingly similar to his. At the time, the little girl's eyes were brimming with tears, asking, "Grandma, are you also looking for family?" I just want to wait for my birth parents and ask them why they never came to save me. After hearing her story, I learned that she grew up in a poor village, treated worse than an enemy by her relatives, simply because she wanted a bit of the scorched rice at the bottom of the pot and was beaten almost to death. "You reincarnated hungry ghost, you're so greedy, you deserve to be beaten to death." Even in the winter, with the river frozen over, her hands were cold and purple. Yet, she still had to wash clothes for the whole family. When she wanted to go to college and move to the city, her parents yelled at her face, "You're such a jinx. What's the point of studying? You can't even raise pigs and chickens, yet you dream of being a city person. Do you think you have that kind of fate?" She lived like livestock, trampled like wild grass. Only later did the girl learn the truth, it turns out. They weren't my family. I was the real heiress who was swapped. The fake heiress was afraid I'd return, so she hired people to kill me. After that, I hid in the mountains and then starved to death. Hearing this, I couldn't help but clench my fists. Looking at the girl's face, identical to my husband's back then, I asked, "What is your birth father's name?" "My father is Samson Bonita, and my grandfather is Devlin Bonita, the head of the Bonita family." Excellent. My blood boiled. I knew it! This poor wrongfully deceased little girl was my own great-granddaughter. I never expected my son to be foolish, but my grandson to be even stupider. I was so infuriated that I dragged the underworld officials out and gave them a severe beating, ordering, "Go tell the king of hell I, this girl's great-grandmother, want to reincarnate in my great-granddaughter's